Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our social media platforms at Fino Boxing. You can follow my personal social media at Adriana_sports. Enjoy.
With Haney, father of David Haney, WC champion. Just a few days away from Fight Night, expecting a big crowd, 8,000 fight fans in the arena. I know you guys are from Oakland, but obviously Las Vegas, second home. How would you put that into perspective?
I mean, we always represent the East Oakland, California. We've been in Vegas quite some time, and Vegas has embraced us in a way that, of course, it feels like second home. It's the biggest, boxing fight town in the world, you know what I mean? And for Devin to start here in Vegas and get a chance to experience all the different fighters and relationships with all the different fighters and coaches from, Eddie Mustafa, who's did a tremendous job with us. Both Floyd Sr., Roger Mayweather, Roy Jones we met here as well. We just have a plethora of different coaches who've been very instrumental in teaching us this game. We look to execute it on Saturday night.
Now, Saturday night, you're taking on three-division world champion, four-time world champion Jorge Linares. You guys know obviously Linares very well from the sparring sessions back in the day. He says Team Haney made a mistake taking this fight. What do you make of that?
Well, the thing about it is that what you see in Devin is the fact that he gives himself all the accolades in the world. He says how much he's experienced. So we must give Devin the props that Devin did pick him and picked him to showcase on Saturday night. One thing about his experience that he brings to the table is that you've never heard him say what he's going to do to Devin because he knows that he can't do anything. He has to get in the ring and hope to get off that big right hand, right? And you've never hear him say that he has a better jab. You'll never see him say that he has better foot speed. You'll never see him say that he has anything better than Devin. Devin has a higher skill set than Jorge Linares at 22 years old. You know what I mean? So one thing that I sense about him is a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of fear going into there. And come Saturday night, we're going to make him look silly.
What would be the perfect victory for Team Haney on Saturday night?
Just him falling all around the ring. You know what I mean? Him falling all around the ring, missing with big shots, you know what I mean? Just not looking like the Jorge Linares that he's described to the world of talent, of class, you know what I mean? For Devin to just completely get in there and outclass him. And that's what I see happening on Saturday.
Not looking past Linares, but obviously, we were at the Teofimo Lopez media workout. He mentioned David Haney plenty of times, calling him the emo champion, says he doesn't want to face him. What do you guys want that fight next?
One thing about it is that you'll see, you always hear, you know what I mean, conflicting stories with Teofimo and his dad, you know what I mean? You never hear that they're sitting down with us like gentlemen, like businessmen, and trying to make this fight that everybody wants to see. I'm sure you want to see the fight, correct, too, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Right, so it goes without doubt that the world wants to see the fight, right? But then before they even sit down and talk to us, they say to the world that the fight can't happen. So that lets everyone know that they're pissing on top of their head and telling them it's raining, in the sense of that Devin has been and did everything to be in a position. He has the WBC title, which is one of the other titles that Teofimo doesn't possess. Teofimo didn't try to get the other title and then ran around and said that he was undisputed. Now, one thing about networks and other promoters, they will say anything for their narrative to drive subscriptions. They're not law. They're not any kind of God, or that they just tell the truth. So when you hear ESPN say that he's undisputed, you can't take that as gospel. If you hear that a promoter of Bob Arum say that he's undisputed, that's not gospel, right? The people know that Devin Haney has the same WBC belt that Sugar Ray Leonard had, Floyd Mayweather had, Mike Tyson, Ali, and the rest of them. That's the belt that he wanted to get as being a young boy, and he got it. And he got it the way that he got it. Everyone takes different routes. The route he had to take was the route we went, right? But one thing for certain and two things for sure is if you want it, come take it.
Exactly. Now, Devin has done everything correctly. He was a mandatory for Lomachenko. That fight didn't take place. He was Ryan Garcia was a mandatory for Devin Haney. That fight seems like it's not going to happen. What do you make of all this? Obviously he wants those big fights.
Well, we've had every single belt inside the WBC, from the youth belt, the international belt, the silver belt, the interim belt. We've had every belt in the WBC. So for those jokers saying email, you know what I mean, that's all just propaganda. It's all just things that they try to do to divert, to get their best fighter or their favorite fighter to fight someone that they feel that's going to beat, that possesses a certain skill set that's easy to beat. When we talk about Devin, we talk about a fighter that possesses everything in the arsenal, right? A complete fighter, right? So we hear something about power and this and that. If you have the power, then bring it to the ring and let's see what happens.
At the end of the day, do you feel eventually we're going to see those fights? Devin fight Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko if possible, the Teofimo fight.
Well, the thing about this is that with the WBC franchise, that means that he doesn't have any mandatories, correct? You can't challenge the WBC for that belt, right? So, I mean, it's for all intent purposes, he's in a witness protection program right now, So we know that Devin is the WBC champion, and we know that he does have mandatories. We know that you can petition to fight him. So, I mean, we did everything that we can do to provide, to bring the hardware to the table, right? To bring a fan base to the table, right? And you know what I mean? And the people want to see it. So I think that it then becomes a matter of whether or not the fans and the media are going to put pressure on the Lopez's, to stop lying, stop faking, right? And, handle their business with Cambosos. We handle our business on Saturday night, and let's sit down like gentlemen and make this thing happen.
Do you think some of that responsibility belongs to the WBC, the fact that they created the WBC franchise? Canelo was the first one, and it sent, it cloud things, in a sense. Do you think maybe they should get rid of the franchise and just focus on becoming the champion?
Well, I think that if it becomes a 5-belt, if it becomes 5 belts, then, and it's 5 belts in that division at that particular time, different from the fight with Josh Taylor on last Saturday night, then let's put all the 5 belts up, right? But Lomachenko didn't put the belt up. He didn't put the WBC belt up. He had to fight Devin. He had to fight Devin, right? Because we were interim champion, and the amount of time that it would have taken us to petition to fight him, right? He decided to drop the belt, become a franchise champion, and fight Teofimo Lopez and make an in-house fight. But what they're doing is that they're being very tactful in the way that they're approaching it from top rank standpoint, right? They're saying that all the top rank fighters, and what a wonder that Teofimo has done because he's beat top rank fighters. He's beat in-house fighters. Well, we know that Bob Arum has been the best in the business for quite some time, right? And we know that he has the power to get fighters ranked in the positions that he want to get ranked. So the fighters that he's beaten have been ranked fighters, but what does that mean? What does that mean? That means nothing to us. The people didn't want to see Teofimo fight Richard Comey. The people didn't want to see Teofimo fight Nakatani. The people wanted to see Teofimo fight Devin Haney. But before then, right? The people want to see Devin and Lomachenko fight. So, you know what I mean? What are we saying? Devin is number 2 or number 3 in the world right now. So, you know what I mean? We need to stop making excuses and just make these things happen.
Now, lastly, this fight's going to be showcased worldwide on the zone. Why do fans have to tune in?
Well, I mean, just you tune in and you get a chance to see a fighter that possesses the skill set, you know what I mean, far beyond his years. He has the skill set of some of the all-time greats. And when you see him and you see a fight and you say that, okay, well, you're going to sleep, it's based on the fact that what he's done, he's neutralized the other opponent. He's neutralized the other opponent where the opponent can't do anything but hold and survive and all those kind of things. And, we've went into the lab and we prepared for should Jorge Linares try to hold on and should he try to, fight for his life like Gamboa did in terms of not fighting back but just trying to survive, then we'll make that adjustment and deal with that too as well. But our expectations was never that Gamboa was coming to the table to survive. He's always been punching and punching and punching. I think that he got points taken for holding, and I think that might have been the first time that I've ever seen in his career that he's not just punched his way out of it. You know what I mean? Even when he would go down, he would punch. So, we'll make the adjustment needed if needed.
Well, we're looking forward to Saturday night. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.